Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important articles and news from the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. Topics which we are going to cover today are displayed on your screen. Let's begin the discussion. Now let's start our session with our first question, which is based on this article. This article is about how human settlement near the low-lying Palghat Gap hinders the movement of the endangered Asian elephants and promotes more inbreeding, leading to low genetic diversity, pushing up chances of diseases and lower fertility rates. As UPSC has been asking questions based on different map location, so here we have curated practice question based on different passes. The first one is Palghat Pass. Now let's solve this question with the help of map. As you can see here, this is Palghat Gap. It is located between the Nilgiri Hills to the north, Annamalai Hills to the south. It is in Kerala and connects Kochi and Chennai, the two main cities of the South India. This gap is important as it funnels the winds blowing from the west onto Palakkad district in Kerala, Coimbatore and Tirupur districts in Tamil Nadu, making the region one of the major wind power generating areas. So our first option is correct, as Palghat Gap connects Kochi and Chennai. Next is Talgat Gap. It links Nasik and Mumbai. So our second option is incorrect. Third is Borgat Gap. It connects Mumbai and Pune. So our third option is incorrect. Now let's come to the last option, that is Saint Kota Pass. It is located between the Nagarcoil and the Cardamom Hills and links Thiruvananthapuram and Madurai. So our fourth option is correct. So here our correct answer is option A. That is 1 and 4 only. Answer of this PYQ is option A. Now let's come to the next practice question. Question says, PHYTORID technology sometimes in news is related to which of the following? Now why we have taken this question? As UPSC has been asking questions based on recent technological advancement. Like in 2022, they have asked question based on biorock technology. Now let's come back to the practice question. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, National Environmental Engineering Research Institute has developed an efficient PHYTORID technology sewage treatment plant for the treatment of municipal, urban, agricultural and industrial wastewater and sewage. This technology is a self-sustainable technology for artificial wastewater treatment that works on the principle of natural wetlands. It uses certain specific plants that can absorb nutrients directly from wastewater but do not require soil. These plants act as nutrient sinkers and removers. So our correct answer is option D. Why we have taken this question? As there is article on page 7. According to this, Municipal Corporation of Tirupati is said to take a giant leap in water treatment by putting in place what is claimed to be the country's largest liquid waste treatment plant to use PHYTORID technology. Answer of this PYQ is option A. Now our next question is based on this article which appeared on page 6 in the Hindu newspaper. The context of this article is that the sugarcane farmers in Haryana sat on dharnas outside the sugar mills across the state, kicking off the agitation to seek the hike in crop support price. Now issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support price is important for your pre as well as for your mains examination. Like this question came in year 2020. Now let's come to the practice question. Question says, with reference to the fair and remunerative prices, that is FRP for sugarcane, consider the following statements and you have to find out the correct statements. The first one is, all the FRPs are approved by the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. Now to find out whether this statement is right or wrong, you should know what is FRP. It is the price required to be paid by sugar mills and factories to sugarcane farmers. It was introduced in 2009 and replaced the concept of statutory minimum price, that is SMP. Now, decision is based on a recommendation by Commission for the Agricultural Cost and Prices, that is CSE, but it is approved by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, that is chaired by Prime Minister. So our first statement is incorrect. Also, you should know that FRP is based on the Rangarajan Committee report on reorganizing the sugarcane industry. Now let's come to the second statement. FRP are decided on the basis of weight of sugarcane. Now FRP is based on the recovery rate of sugar from sugarcane. Sugar recovery is the ratio between sugar produced versus cane crushed expressed as a percentage. Higher the recovery, higher is the FRP and higher is the sugar produced. So our second statement is incorrect. Now let's come to the third statement. States can decide their respective payout for the sugarcane farmers over and above the FRPs. Now, state advised prices, that is SAP, is the price announced by the state government over and above the FRP. Since sugar pricing comes under the concurrent list, the Supreme Court has held that both the centre and the states have the power to fix sugarcane prices. While the centre's price is the minimum price, states can set an SAP that will always be higher than the centre's FRP. So our third statement is correct. So here correct answer is option C, that is 3 only. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Now let's come to the next practice question, which is based on fundamental rights. Now fundamental rights is one of the important themes for your prelims examination. This question based on protection against untouchability came in year 2020. So now let's come to the practice question. Question says which of the following can be said to be part of fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution of India. The first one is right to protest and demonstrations in a peaceful manner. Now, right to protest is under Article 19(1)(a), that is, all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. 19(1)(b), that is, to assemble peaceably and without arms. 19(1)(c), that is, to form associations or unions. So with this, our first option is correct. Second option is right to form trade union or cooperative societies. Now this is under Article 19C of the Constitution of India, which guarantees to all its citizens the right to form associations or unions or cooperative societies. So our second option is also correct. Now let's come to the third option, right of the employees to strike. Now to find out whether this particular right is guaranteed under Article 19, you should understand the essence of this article. According to this article, recently Kerala High Court has reiterated that no state government, employee, worker or association has the legal right to call for a general strike or instigate the employees to strike in the guise of the fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression guaranteed by the Constitution. So with this, freedom of speech and expression under Article 19 does not include right to strike, and this has also been approved by various Supreme Court judgments. So option 3 is incorrect. Now as you know that option 3 is incorrect, with the help of elimination technique, you can find out the right answer, that is option D, as other 3 option talks about right of the employees to strike as fundamental right guaranteed under Article 19. Now let's come to the fourth option, right to seek information from state functionaries. Now, right of information is an inalienable component of freedom of speech and expression guaranteed by Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. Also, much before the enactment of Right to Information Act, which came on the statute book in the year 2005, Court in Anjali Bhardwaj versus Union of India case repeatedly emphasized the people's right to information to be face of Article 19(a) of the Indian Constitution. It has been held that the right to information is a fundamental right and flows from Article 19(1)(a), which guarantees right to speech. This right has also been traced to Article 21, which concerns about right to life and liberty. So here, our correct answer is option D, that is 1, 2 and 4 only. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Now our next question is based on this article, which appeared on page 12 in the Hindu newspaper. According to this article, recently Union Environment Ministry withdrew permission for tourism and ecotourism activities in the vicinity of PARASNATH Wildlife Sanctuary in Jharkhand, as it entailed Samar Shikharji, which is one of the holiest pilgrimage sites for the Jains community. Now, in history, Jainism and Buddhism is very important for your examination, as question based on Buddhism came in 2020. So here we have curated practice question based on Jainism. In this practice question, you have to identify the correct statements. The first statement is Samyak Darshan is an important belief of Jain Tirthankaras. Now, Jainism is an ancient religion from India that teaches that the way to liberation and bliss is to live lives of harmlessness and renunciation. Doctrines of Jainism talks about 3 gems of Jainism. The first is Samyak Darshana, that is true perception or right faith. It is the belief of Tirthankaras. So our first statement is correct. Second gem is Samyak Gyan, that is right knowledge. It is knowledge of Jain creed. And the third is Samyak Karma, that is right conduct. It is the practice of 5 vows of Jainism. Now let's come to the second statement. Mula Sangha sect has emerged out of Shvetambara's school of Jainism. Now Jain order has been divided in 2 major sects. First is Digambars and the second is Shvetambars. Now those who were stark naked and followed Bhadrabahu are known as Digambars, and those who put on white robes are known as Shvetambars. These 2 sects are further divided into subsects like Mula Sangha, Visapantha, Terapantha comes under the major subsects of Digambars, and major subsects under Shvetambars are Murti Pujakas, etc. So our second statement is incorrect, as Mula Sangha sect has emerged out of Digambar school of Jainism and not Shvetambara. So here our correct answer is option A, that is 1 only. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now our last question is based on this article which appeared on page 1 in the Hindu newspaper. According to this article, decennial census exercise has been postponed till September, at least as the government informed the states that the date of freezing of administrative boundaries has been extended till June 30. Now, as per norms, census can be conducted only 3 months after freezing of boundary limits of administrative units such as districts, sub-districts, tehsils, talukas and police stations. The last census was held in year 2011. Now, UPSC has been asking questions based on different aspects related to election, like this question based on Delimitation Commission came in 2012. So here we have curated practice question regarding census in India. In this question, you have to identify the correct statements. The first statement is, census data is used for demarcation of constituencies at center and state level. Now, the process of census is governed by the Census Act 1948. Census data is used for demarcation of constituencies and allocation of representation to Parliament and state legislative assemblies. So, our first statement is correct. Also, you should know the confidentiality of census is of prime importance as the data is not even accessible to courts. Now let's come to the second statement. Kautilya's Arthashastra also mentions collection of population data exercise like it. Now this statement is correct as Kautilya Arthashastra also prescribed collection of population statistics for taxation purposes. Also, comprehensive population survey and statistics also finds mention in N.A. Akbari. Now let's come to the third statement. The subject of population falls under the concurrent list. Now this statement is incorrect as subject of population falls under the Union list under the 7th schedule. The data is also utilized by Finance Commission for allocation of funds to states. So here our correct answer is option D, that is 1 and 2 only. Answer of this PYQ is option C.
That's all for today. Stay tuned for more such updates.